Let's get right into it. Number 7. The phantom phone buzz. Imagine sitting completely still, minding your own business, when suddenly your pocket vibrates like you just got the world's most important text message. You reach for your phone, and surprise, absolutely nothing happened. No alert, no notification, not even a pity email from a mailing list you forgot to unsubscribe from, just your nervous system playing pretend. This lovely moment of betrayal is called phantom vibration syndrome, and it happens because your brain is a little too enthusiastic about pattern detection. It hates uncertainty so much that it will take the tiniest muscle twitch, a shift in clothing, or even the brush of air and confidently declare, "Yep, that's your phone, go check," immediately. It's kind of like your brain is a golden retriever trained to fetch texts, except it keeps dropping random sticks at your feet and insisting they're important. Psychologists think this comes from something called expectation-induced sensory distortion. Basically, when you're used to getting notifications all day, your brain starts priming itself to detect them before they even happen. And because your nervous system is tuned more for speed than accuracy, it occasionally fires off a false alarm. Neurologically speaking, you're dealing with a tiny, overexcited intern in your head who hits the "something happened" button way too fast. The best part? Your brain never apologizes. It makes you pull your phone out, stare at a blank screen, question your reality, and then just quietly walks away like it wasn't responsible. Imagine if any other part of your life did this. If your smoke detector randomly screamed, "Fire," and then shrugged. If your car honked at empty air. If your microwave beeped because it felt like it. Basically, phantom vibrations are your sensory system throwing phantom confetti for an event that doesn't exist. Number 6. The someone is right behind me feeling. You know that moment when you're walking alone at night and suddenly every shadow feels like it's judging you, or worse, following you? You speed up, your heartbeat speeds up, your imagination starts running laps. Congratulations, your senses just turned into a paranoid hallway monitor. This sensation is tied to something called hypervigilance, which is basically your brain's worst-case scenario mode. It evolved back when humans actually did have things sneaking up behind them, like predators, rival tribes, or that one neighbor who always wanted to talk about his rock collection. Your ancestors survived by assuming everything was dangerous until proven otherwise, and your nervous system still loves playing by those outdated rules. The crazy part? You don't even need real sound cues. Your brain takes tiny pieces of ambiguous input, rustling leaves, echoing footsteps, or even your own breathing, and exaggerates them like a bad documentary narrator. Could be wind, or could it be a serial killer? Thanks, brain. Super chill. This happens because your threat detection circuits rely on fast emotional processing from your amygdala, not slow logical reasoning from your cortex. Your senses get jumpy, your imagination fills in the gaps, and suddenly you're rehearsing escape plans from invisible enemies. It's like living with a built-in horror movie director who works for free, hates your peace. Is anything actually behind you? Probably not, but your ancient biology is convinced ambushes are still trending. Basically, your senses briefly turn you into the protagonist of a suspense thriller for absolutely no reason. Number 5. The did I lock the door? Panic. Picture this. You've just left the house, feeling like a functioning adult for once, when your brain casually taps you on the shoulder and whispers, "Hey, quick question. Did you lock the door? Because I don't think you did. In fact, I'm positive you didn't." Your entire home is now an unlocked museum exhibit, and suddenly, you're standing on the sidewalk, staring into the void, replaying the moment you turned the key, but all you see is a blurry mental screenshot that looks like it was filmed on a potato. Thanks, brain. This delightful betrayal comes from something called prospective memory failure, which happens when your brain performs a routine action so automatically that it forgets to save the moment to your conscious memory. It's like your brain wrote over the file because it needed more storage for useless things like the theme song of a cartoon you watched at age 6. Your senses don't help either. They didn't bother paying attention while you locked the door, because to them, it was just another Tuesday gesture. So when you later ask for proof you did it, your brain hands you a shrug and a blank receipt. Under stress or distraction, this gets even worse. The more your mind is multitasking, the more likely it is to autopilot something important and completely forget it ever happened. It's a fun mix of biology, routine, and the complete chaos that is modern life. And the punchline? 99% of the time, you did lock the door. Your senses just refused to leave documentation. Basically, your memory system is the coworker who definitely did the job but forgot to send the email confirming it. Number 4. The voice that isn't there moment. Ever been home alone and suddenly hear someone call your name? Not loudly, more like the universe whispering, "Psst." You freeze, you listen, you mentally prepare to either run or negotiate with whatever afterlife intern just reached out to you. Then, nothing. No voice. No person, just silence and your dignity evaporating. Congratulations, you've just experienced an auditory pareidolia glitch, a fancy way of saying your brain heard something meaningful in random noise. It could have been air through a vent, a car outside, or your appliance making its best dying whale impression. But your brain, being the overconfident improviser it is, decided it sounded like a human voice. This happens because your auditory cortex is hypersensitive to patterns that could be speech. Humans are wired to detect voices instantly. It's one of our most ancient survival tools. Missing a real voice could have meant missing danger, or missing your group, or missing gossip, which was basically prehistoric social currency. But in the modern world, where everything hums, beeps, buzzes, or rattles, your brain misinterprets these sounds and fills in the blanks with the closest meaningful pattern, language, specifically your name, because your brain has that one highlighted like it's the main character. Is it spooky? Slightly. Is it normal? Completely. Does it mean ghosts are trying to reach you? Only if the ghosts are terrible communicators. Basically, your ears take static, your brain adds subtitles. Number 3, the I just saw something move illusion. You're sitting in your room, everything is perfectly calm, when suddenly, right at the edge of your vision, you see movement, a shadow, flicker, a tiny flash of, oh no, what was that? You turn your head, and nothing, just the same empty corner that's been empty all day. This is your peripheral vision being dramatic. The outer edges of your eyesight are terrible at detail, but fantastic at detecting movement. Evolution designed them that way because movement could mean anything from food to predator to your cousin sneaking up to hit you with a stick. Survival required quick detection, not accuracy. So, when a tiny shift in lighting occurs, maybe a car passing the window or your own eyelash casting the world's most ambitious shadow, your visual system throws a micro alert, your brain checks it, finds nothing, and then refuses to explain itself. This is also why your peripheral vision sometimes invents shapes, faces, or figures that disappear when you look directly at them. The rods in your eyes responsible for low-light vision are basically like, we saw something, probably, maybe, we don't know. Don't ask follow-up questions. It's harmless, but it feels like your own eyesight is pranking you. You're just trying to relax, and your senses go, what if there was a monster right there? Not saying there is, but what if? Basically, your peripheral vision is a hyperactive guard dog that barks at dust. Number 2, the sudden, why does everything smell wrong glitch. You're going about your day, enjoying the normal scent profile of existence, coffee, laundry detergent, maybe the faint aroma of whatever snack you told yourself you wouldn't eat today, when suddenly your nose throws a tantrum. Out of nowhere, you smell something that absolutely isn't there. Burnt toast, chemicals, perfume from a person who isn't in the room, a mysterious old attic vibe in a place with 0 attics. Your senses have officially gone rogue. This little betrayal is tied to something called phantosmia, or phantom smells, which is when your olfactory system decides to remix reality without your permission. The nose is weirdly direct. It's one of the few senses that connects straight to the brain without passing through the usual sensory checkpoints. That means when your sensory neurons misfire, they can conjure scents out of thin air like some kind of chaotic candle-making wizard. Usually this happens when your sensory receptors are irritated, tired, or just confused. Sometimes it's triggered by stress because your brain loves adding unnecessary side quests when you're already overwhelmed. Sometimes it's caused by tiny environmental cues your brain overinterprets. Basically, your nose is the drama queen of the sensory world. But here's the funny part. Your brain tries to cover for it. When the smell makes no sense, your cortex steps in like, sure, yeah, maybe the room does smell like a burning robot. Totally normal. Nothing to be concerned about. It's like a sitcom character trying to hide the fact that the house is on fire behind their back. So when you sniff the air and go, what on earth is that? Just know your senses are improvising, and they're very, very bad at improv. Basically, your nose occasionally reboots midday and loads the wrong scent pack. Number 1, the sudden, why does my body feel wrong? Sensory dropout. Here's the grand finale of sensory betrayal. That eerie moment when your own body suddenly feels unfamiliar. Maybe your hands feel too big or too small, or your legs feel floaty, or your skin feels numb, or the whole world feels like someone turned the graphics down a notch. You're still you, but you feel slightly off, like you're piloting your own body using a laggy Wi-Fi connection. This isn't you malfunctioning, it's your somatosensory system taking a brief coffee break. The brain normally receives a constant flood of information from your skin, muscles, joints, and internal sensors. It's like a non-stop group chat about where your limbs are, what they're touching, and whether everything is calibrated correct. But sometimes that system hiccups. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're stressed, maybe you've been hyper-focused on something else, and your brain quietly put body awareness on low power mode. And then suddenly it realizes it hasn't been paying attention and scrambles to load a fresh model of your physical self. This creates the bizarre sensation of your body feeling distant, oversized, undersized, or just just weird. Psychologists call this derealization or depersonalization light, though in everyday language it's more like, help, my hands feel like rental equipment. It's harmless, unsettling, but harmless. And once your brain finishes recalibrating, everything quietly snaps back to normal and your senses pretend nothing happened. Classic. But here's the truth. Your brain isn't trying to freak you out. It's just overwhelmed by information and occasionally assigns the wrong intern to handle the controls. Basically, your sense of self is built on millions of tiny signals, and sometimes one of them drops the ball. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.